Oh, happy Tuesday, everybody. How we doing today? Little Daft Punk this morning. Wait, hold on. One more time. Oh, I hope you're feeling good. I know some of you just watched for the dancing, so that means I'm doing good. You know that if you see me dancing. How's everybody doing this morning? Hope all are well. I'm trying to go live here on Instagram. It's giving me a hard time, but appreciate everybody who's tuning in. Brandon, good morning. Good to see you. We are working on connecting on Instagram, so if you usually tune in there, it's a good thing you are on Facebook this morning. Just want to check in with you guys and talk about a couple things. First off, appreciate everybody who is tuning in. Appreciate everybody who's here. I really enjoy the comments, especially when I see them on the replay. So if you guys are here, make sure that you are letting me know if you are live. Give me a live in the comments or give me a like. And if you're on the replay, definitely hashtag replay so that I know you guys are watching. Last Tuesday, if you guys tuned in, you saw me on with a Martin and Chelsea Matthews. Great show. We talked a lot about social media, some of the things they do with finance. They have a free book they give away on their website called Let's Fight About Money. Sorry about that. See, it's a little early for me too. Let's Fight About Money. So make sure you guys check that book out. Want to make sure you guys see that. I will put a link. I'm going to talk about 3 books today. This is the first one I'm going to talk about. I was on with them last Tuesday night. Make sure you guys check out that video if you don't down below. They're definitely good to see. The other one is tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I always wondered that. Like in the Central then, does that mean everybody gets off work at 4 o'clock? But I will be on with Jose Flores. He has a great book called Don't Let Your Struggles Become Your Standard. And there's some really cool stuff he does in the book tonight. So 8 p.m. tonight from the Man Cave. I will be on with the license plates. Make sure you guys are there checking out that show. And we're going to talk about that. But this morning I wanted to talk about something that I think is really important. And I want to talk about it through social media and through some of the things that we see. You know, I've been able to use Facebook Live, and I love what I've done here. I take my Facebook Live videos, I do on Instagram as well, and I've been sharing them on LinkedIn. I've been putting them up on Twitter, and I appreciate, especially everyone who's tuned in, Brian, Lauren, see you guys out there as well. I've been able to share these videos and connect with people, right? And it's been great because one of the things I've said is when I see people out in public now, it creates that instant rapport. It's allowed me to reach new clientele, bring in new business. So I've really enjoyed this medium. But one of the things about social media, one of the things I want to talk about that I see a lot of people doing with social media is the idea of comparison. And you can see the title of this video is Dare to Compare. And I think we have to look at something and you're probably thinking, oh, good, we're going to talk about how comparing is bad. Sometimes it's bad. And I think like anything, one of my philosophies is your greatest strength is always your greatest weakness, right? So you have to be careful with those two things and look at those two areas. But I want to talk today about comparison and comparing to things around you. And I think there's 2 main areas that I see people compare, and then one that we very often experience. So I want to talk about those 3 areas real quickly this morning. The first thing is other people around you. And I want to talk about this from the standpoint of I think social media really puts us in a place where we compare ourselves to other people around us. And that's okay. Right? So we look at people that we look up to, the Gary V's of the world, the Tony Robbins, maybe, and I know too, we've connected with a lot of other people as well here on social media. So I see a lot of you guys that are in the same spot I am, starting businesses online, trying to build a personal brand, things I've done with like Ryan, the Fire with Sal project, Brandon, a lot of stuff we're doing together, seeing him doing his lives and the story he's been telling. Buffy, I see you there as well, the connecting that we've been doing. I think it's okay to compare to other people to look to grow, right? We see what they're doing with their business. We see how they're working on things. We see where they're going, where they're at, and I really enjoy working that. Yeah, Tim as well. Tim, what we're doing with the eTag project. The other thing is, I think that we do it comparing, right? So I think there's 2 things we do with comparing. One is that we compare ourselves to other people to grow, which I think is awesome. The second thing is that I think we shouldn't do. It's not okay to compare to people to complain, though. Remember too, social media to me, while I think it's a very big window, it's a really nice big window, it's still just a window into what people are doing. And I think to look at Gary Vee or Grant Cardone or all these guys in the planes and the cars and all the other things is to say, yes, they've done it, yes, they're there, and we want to get there so we compare ourselves to them. But more importantly, how do we not compare and put ourselves down? I think it's very easy to look at them and say, well, it's easy for Grant to get all these followers and build a personal brand and because he's got all this money and he's paying for ads, or he's doing this, or he's doing that, or it's easy for so and so to do this because they're on here and they got this hook or they got that hook. I don't know what my hook is yet. Or look at other people. I think even if you're not trying to create a personal brand, a lot of times we see other people on Facebook and Instagram and the things they put out. I think people always put their best stories out, which is good, right? They say, hey, you see someone with a nicer car, maybe the nicer house, or they seem to have it all together, and it's like, well, why do they have it all together and I don't when we're having a bad day and we're scrolling through social media? And then I see a lot of people too that put negative things out on social media that when I see them out in public are really happy. So I think it's important not to compare ourselves to other people, or more importantly, let's not compare to the image we see on social media of things. When we look at comparing, it's important to say, and I always say, treat it like a buffet. If you went out to the buffet and got everything in the buffet and piled it on your plate, the food wouldn't taste good. But if you go to the buffet and you take a little bit of something and you take what you like, you're going to enjoy that buffet experience, and it's going to be worth the money you invested and the time you invested in it. So 2 things that we shouldn't do when we compare, okay, or 2 things we can do. One, we can compare to grow, learn from people, look at them, and do that. Or not do what Buffy was just talking about, is use it as a piñata stick to beat ourselves up, right? We can't look at other people and compare and say, hey, I'm not there, I'm not where I should be, I'm not where I'm at. The other thing I see people do very often is it's important. We can't compare ourselves to ourselves. Okay? And I want to talk about comparing ourselves to ourselves. And when we compare ourselves to ourselves, our past self, our present self, and our future self, right? We have to look at who we are right now and gauge. And a lot of times we'll say, man, when I was younger, when I was 18, 19, I was really able to work out more. I was able to move much faster. I was able to do these things. And I want to be as healthy as I was then. That's a good comparison, right? So we want to do that. We want to get in health. We go back and compare us. But remember, the second thing we don't want to do is comparison. We don't want to bring ourselves down, right? Oh, when I was 18 and 19, I had so much energy. I was able to move around. I was able to do these things. Yo, you were in high school. You were 18 and 19. You were a young kid. Now when you got a job and kids and all these other things, you can't compare yourself to your 18, 19-year-old self. You're also much wiser, much smarter, much more financially stable, much more grown. So it's also really important not to compare ourselves to our past self, right? So we can compare ourselves to our past self to grow, but we can't have the same expectations of our past self and ask, why are we not still there? You very often hear people say, the mind is willing, but the body's not able. Well, if the mind's willing, there's a way to make it happen. The body's not able because you're trying to compare it to an older version of the body. It's important to make sure that we don't compare ourselves to our past self. And when we look at our present self too, I think it's important to understand the environment we're being in, right? When we look at it, we can't say we're going to take our present self back somewhere, or more importantly, we can't look too far ahead. It's so important to goal set. I believe in goal setting. I believe in looking ahead in your future. I believe in planning your day out, planning your month out, planning your year out. But when we plan these things and when we design these plans, we need to make sure that we're comparing ourselves to grow and look at our future selves. But this is a Gary Vee thing. And here's one of the things I love, and we'll go back to comparing to others, right? You see Gary Vee do these meetups all the time. And Gary Vee says the same things over and over again. You have to be patient and you just have to do the work. And anytime someone walks up to them and they're so excited to meet him, they walk up to him and they ask him whatever it is. Hey, I'm thinking of starting an online dog food, flying business, whatever it is. And he gives them the same advice every time. You got to be patient and you got to do the work. So when we look at our future self, I think it's important to say, hey, why am I not at where I set my goal? Why am I not having the car or the house or the life I want? Or if you're single, why am I not married yet? Why do I not have kids? All these things. Don't compare yourself to your future self to where you're going to be, but look at your future goals and compare yourself on how you can get there. Use comparison as a motivator. Don't use it as a demotivator, right? Use it to make yourself grow. Use it to make yourself go in that direction. To all my coaches and teachers out there, I think you guys do a great job of this, of comparing yourself and taking your experiences to teach others to grow. And I think that's something important to look at, right? A lot of times we say, how do we help ourselves grow and not get caught up in the negative side of comparison and stay on the positive side where we use it for goal setting and growth and looking back and learning what we did right or learning from other people. How do we do the positive things? It's looking at who we surround ourselves with. I posted a video from Curran Ray on Monday about your tribe and who you surround yourself with. Are you getting good, is your leadership pointing you in the right direction? Are they saying, don't do it that way, do it my way? Or are they coaching you on the best way that you can do it based on their experiences and what they learned? Do they share that with you? Hey, from my experiences, I've had this happen, but you try it out and see what you do. Or say, listen, this is how I did. Learn it from me. Learn from my mistakes. Take this and go. What type of coaching, what type of leadership, what type of direction are you going to get at? And that leads me to my third book, right? 10X Mindset Habits. If you haven't read this book yet, and I've talked about it before, and once again, I'm going to put a link to all 3 books that I talked about today on the live. This book is great, and I get nothing for plugging these books on the live. This book is great because it talks about regular, everyday people and the successes and the struggles that they've had and how they've been able to achieve their goals and how they've been able to take those philosophies and compare for success and bring that recipe in, okay? So when we compare, like I said, it's okay. I dare you to compare. I dare you to compare yourself to make yourself better, and I dare you to not compare yourself to bring things down. Don't compare yourself to other people and where you're at and use it to complain. Compare it to use it as a great motivator, okay? So appreciate everybody tuning in. If you're just getting here on the live at the end, I see a bunch of people have come in towards the end. Make sure you guys catch the replay. If you're watching on replay, hashtag replay. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate everybody who commented today in the live. Appreciate everybody who trickled in there on Instagram. Sorry, we had a little bit of delay in getting started. So appreciate it. If you guys like the video, also share it as well. Dare to Compare tonight, 8 o'clock. Going to be talking to Jose. You're not going to want to miss it. Great stuff here on his book, what he does, and then also some of the technology he's used. So super excited. All right, let's dance it out. Right? Get going in the morning. Did you miss your morning workout? If you did, this is it. Get it in. Your little 15 seconds of cardio. Breezy, man. Good to see you guys. Hope everybody has a great day. Appreciate everybody tuning in. All right, I'm out. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.